Welcome to a More Beautiful World podcast with Susan Renee, a place for those of us with the desire to expand our consciousness, tap into higher vibrations of love, and to connect into a community where together we can make the world a more beautiful place. I'm so eager to share with you what I've learned on my journey in discovering how we're all connected and how what we do for one, we do for us all. Here, I'll be sharing my own experiences, knowledge, and expertise for how you can heal, transform, and ascend your being so that together we can create the more beautiful world we all know is possible. Well, hello, tribe, and welcome to another episode of A More Beautiful World. And today, we've got a great episode. We are going to talk about how to build self-confidence by embodying your authenticity. Being authentic is directly tied to your self-confidence. So, in order to have self confidence, you have to trust in your abilities and you have to be able to be seen in this world for all that you are and feel safe in doing so. And with that, there is no better way to feel confident unless you are embodying your authentic self. And, if you're running around wearing a mask and trying to operate, based on others' judgments or opinions of you, and you're trying to satisfy them, it's not going to work. That's not going to bring you confidence, all right? Because you're not being authentic. So today I'm going to share some simple steps that you can take to connect into and fully embody your authentic self so you can radiate with all the self-confidence you desire. So if you have been determining your behavior based on others' opinions or judgments, and you are ready to get out of that space and trust, embrace, and embody all of who you are so you feel more confident in this world, then this episode is for you. So, as always, I love to start with questions. I think they're a beautiful way to get your awareness and to drop into this episode. So, as you are getting ready to lean in here, ask yourself, do you feel confident right now with who you are? Do you feel like you're being true to all of who you are? Are you showing up honestly for yourself and honestly to the world? And with that, are you showing up consistently with all of who you are? So I want to start as you ponder those questions with talking about how authenticity is tied into self-confidence. Because in order to be self-confident and trust in your abilities and feel safe to be seen in this world, you have to be comfortable with who you truly are as a person. So there, again, is no way for you to feel confident about who you are when you're wearing a mask, right? When you're being inauthentic, and maybe, because there are people out there who do it, maybe you can fake self-confidence, maybe you can fake being confident and wearing a mask, though you won't truly feel connected to true self-confidence without tapping into and embodying your authentic self. So let's talk a little bit about authenticity, because I think it's important to fully understand what we're talking about here. And put simply, authenticity means that you're true to your own personality, to your values, to your spirit, regardless of the pressure that you're under to act otherwise. So authenticity is when you're honest with yourself and with others. You are able to take responsibility for mistakes. You are genuine. Authenticity means having a keen awareness of who you are and what you stand for and expressing yourself honestly and consistently to the world. Your authentic self is who you really are deep down. All right. It's that part of you that doesn't care what other people think. And And learning how to be your authentic self really is an essential part to building meaningful relationships in the world. And this authenticity can happen when your words, your actions, and your behaviors, again, consistently match your core identity. That is being your authentic self. It is being able to be seen as you truly are as a person, regardless of your occupation, regardless of the influence of others. It is a pure, honest, 100% representation of you. So, with that, now that we have some language around authenticity and the authentic self, what is self-confidence? Self-confidence is really a feeling of trust in one's abilities, your qualities, and your own judgment. It means that you accept and trust yourself fully and that you have a sense of control in your own life. Self-confidence is also the courage to know yourself, and believe in yourself, and then act from those beliefs consistently. So, if that is self-confidence, what does a lack of self-confidence look like? When and if maybe you currently are determining your behavior based on what others think or say, or you're always afraid of what others might think of you, right? If you find like you're always staying in your comfort zone, wearing your mask, because that's what feels safe to you, even if you aren't being who you truly want to be. It can show up as fearing failure, and in lacking self-confidence, when we fear failure, we avoid taking risks. Again, we stay in that comfort zone. It can also be dismissing compliments. When you receive them, you give them back, you won't accept them. And it can be also working hard to cover your own mistakes, and trying to appear perfect to others. All of this usually stems from having a harsh inner critic. So, again, if any of those lack of self-confidence things are feeling like you, the good news is we can change that. We can change you into radiating this self-confidence. And again, it really comes from building, and connecting to and embodying your authentic self, embodying that authenticity, because that is what will create this true self-confidence. So in order to do that, we've got to get you really comfortable, and even fall in love with who you are. A big part of this, and this season, in a more beautiful world, is connecting us into self-love. And self-confidence is such a big component of self-love. So when we talk about embodying this authenticity and, creating that self-confidence, it really does come down to, aligning with your higher self. Because once we align with the higher self, you can embody that higher self, that authentic self. And that allows you to be all that you are in each moment. And once you learn to be who you truly are consistently, then you can trust in yourself because you know yourself, right? You accept yourself, you know yourself, you have trust because you're consistent. And then you can cultivate belief in yourself, and that is where, you move from embodying your authentic self to embodying all of that self-confidence that you desire. Of course, again, this is what fuels and taps you deeper into self-love as well. So again, the key to building this self-confidence and to grow that self-love is to get into alignment with your authentic self, to connect you into the truth of all of who you are. So there's no way for you to feel confident if you're going to want to wear that mask, and run around, go around, acting and trying to be someone you are not. So generally, what does it look like to be authentic? I want to talk a little bit about that before I move you through some steps to how to really, find your authentic self and embody it. But what does an authentic self look like? What does it look like when we are embodying that energy? Visualize and kind of tap into this energy and see how this would feel for you. It's being able to speak your opinions honestly and in a healthy way. It is making decisions that align with your values and your beliefs. It is pursuing your passions. It is listening to your inner voice, listening to your intuition, and allowing that intuition to guide you forward and make decisions from that intuition. It's allowing yourself to be vulnerable and open-hearted, and share where you're at, good, bad, or ugly. And it's also being able to set up boundaries and honoring your energy, and being able to walk away from toxic situations. I have a whole episode on this podcast about honoring your energy. If you want to dive into that topic a little deeper, it's a beautiful episode. But for the sake of this episode, right, how do you move into embodying all of that, right? And showing up in those ways to be your authentic self and to have more self-confidence. So up next here, I want to take you through some steps to make it happen, right? Because these are all great concepts, but how do we work them into our lives? How do we move into being more authentic and embodying that authentic self? So in this journey, right, of really finding and tapping into that embodiment of the authentic self, the first step, which is a very key and foundational step, is expanding your awareness by taking some authenticity inventory. All right. And with this inventory, it does move into a space of reflection where you need to ask yourself some questions. And I think one of the key core questions to ask is, when in your life do you feel most authentic? Okay. And when you think about that, ask yourself a few more questions around it, which I'll give you some ideas. But, who are you and when are you not putting on that mask, right? When are you not betraying your core values? Or when are you not holding back your voice or not holding back speaking your truth, right? When you get clear, right, on those core values that you have and really showing up for yourself, it's going to you're going to find it easier to feel confident, right, as you're getting in line with your authentic self. But some more questions to ask about: when do you feel most authentic? Ask yourself, which type of people are you with? What activities are you doing? What situations are you in? What experiences are you having? And in that, what makes you feel most alive? What is making you feel energetic and alive and vibrant? And when you think about feeling, and tapped into all that you are, think about the contrary. Ask yourself, are there people or parts of your life that make you feel unhappy, or they make you feel angry? They make you feel frustrated. They make you feel toxic. Maybe they make you feel unseen or unheard. Anything that is in or out of alignment, right? With, again, that kind of overarching question of, when do you feel the most authentic? So this is a great exercise to take into writing, maybe a journaling session, maybe a chat with, a really dear friend. But I'd encourage you to even take this one a step further and really drill in, because if you identify some situations that feel out of alignment, that feel inauthentic, that even maybe feel wrong to you, what's really going on there, right? And drill in. Who are you with when that shows up? What emotions come up for you? And what of these experiences, is having a cost on your life? Maybe it's an emotional cost. Maybe it's a physical, Cost looking at times again, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling angry, you're feeling frustrated, or even physically, maybe you're feeling drained of energy, you're feeling tired. All of those can be indicators that you are not in situations or with people who are allowing you to embody your authentic self. So, as you could do with the situations that feel wrong or inauthentic, I invite you to also, journal out in what situations do you feel authentic? Like, what is really happening there? What's going on during that time? Again, who are you with, right? What activities are involved? What experiences are you maybe having? And what are some of those positive emotions or positive outcomes, maybe positive signs in your physical body, of these experiences or of these people? Again, it all comes back to that overarching question: when do you feel most authentic, right? And again, on the flip side, when do you not? So the goal with this step is to expand your awareness and take inventory of what's going on. Because from this activity alone, I think if you did nothing else and you just went through this activity, you may already start to get a sense of what needs to change in your life. This part of these kind of steps and practices I'm going to take you through, this allows you to identify things that you can let go of, or things that you can do more of, or be more of, to shift into embodying your authentic self so you can gain more self-confidence. So expanding your awareness on all of this, it is a key first step. And I encourage you, if you want to move through all the steps, that's beautiful. Make sure to hit that first step. It's a beautiful activity. So once you have that expanded self-awareness, once you've kind of identified the moments, the times, the people where you feel authentic and the ones where you don't, begin to be present in your life. Cultivating awareness in the present moment, throughout the day, throughout your week, right? With that intention of, checking in on authenticity is huge to help you navigate more easily how to lean in to the pieces of you that are showing up authentically. So the ability to be present with yourself, like no matter what is going on around you, is essential to authenticity. So if you are always distracted by your own mental chatter, your own inner critic, if you're reacting to, external situations, anytime you're not aware of your own state of being, that can really detract you from being your authentic self. So when you find yourself, really in these times where you're wondering how you're appearing to others, how, others might be perceiving you. Are you meeting others' approval, or you're thinking, what should I do next? What do others want me to do next? Take a moment and pause and focus inward. Reflect on your own values and check in these moments of presence. Do I feel good? Do I feel like me? And when you take these moments, practice taking a pause to breathe, and breathe and check in with yourself regularly throughout the day. This isn't like a once a day check-in. The more you can be present throughout the day, this is going to strengthen your mindfulness and help you notice when you're being inauthentic or authentic. And with that awareness in the present moment, as you're going throughout your days, that's where you're going to find opportunities to express yourself more fully and take actions that feel more in line, with the real you, with the authentic self. So it comes, again, into being present in your life and present with your energy and how you're showing up. The next one up is building your social support system. And this is everything. This is something I have learned. It helps you in all aspects of life, is to get your tribe around you. People who are also living their authentic self, people who are embodying, their truth. those people are going to support yours as well. They're not going to be out there judging you and putting their opinions and belief systems on you. They are going to love you for exactly who you are. So building that social support system is everything. Being able to have tribe around you to support you, and sometimes, if you get a really good tribe around you, which I'm grateful I have some of these people in my life, they will help reflect back to you when you are being inauthentic, because they want to support you in being all of you. And of course, they're going to do it with love, but we're all reflections of each other. And if you have a lot of negative, judgmental, people around you who are always playing the victim and who like to operate out of chaos, and you're over here trying to work on being your authentic self and building your self-confidence, those people might need to go from your life. Now, again, go back to step one in expanding your awareness and take inventory about who you feel authentic with and who you feel inauthentic with. If there are people in your life you're constantly feeling like you're wearing a mask around, do what you can to get those people out of your life and bring in more people where you are mask free. You are being all of who you are and you feel safe to be seen and heard for all of you, for that authentic self. Really is important in order to, again, embody this authenticity and build self-confidence. The next practice I have for you is speaking your truth. If you want to be authentic and be self-confident, you have to be able to speak your truth. And that comes with speaking your truth regardless of what it does to others. Now, you don't have to go around and be malicious, right? This isn't going into it with a hurtful intent. It's going into it very loving. It's really going into it with self-love and having a love for yourself that says, my truth matters, right? So in speaking your truth, you have to be able to set boundaries. You have to, feel safe to say no. If it's a fuck no for you, you got to feel safe to say it's a no. Or you have to be able to express a dissenting opinion that might not sit well with others. But the key here is you have to let go of what others may think or their judgments about you or what you have to say. And you have to be able to represent your own voice and your own integrity. That is key to authenticity. It's key to embodying your authentic self. So come hell or high water, being able to speak your truth is critical. It is so critical. And again, I'm not saying, you go out into the world with malicious intent and speak your truth and try to force your beliefs on everyone, right? You speak your truth with love, right? And compassion and kindness, and embody some of those higher vibration frequencies, right? As you speak your truth. But it is your truth. It is your voice. And if you want to embody your authentic self, you have to be able to speak that truth. The final practice I want to share with you is really to bring in a consistent daily practice of authenticity. So, we talked a little bit at the beginning about, setting boundaries and working, and pursuing your passions and speaking your truth, right? Now with this, I'm wanting you to make time each day to take a small step forward toward embodying your authentic self. I've used the word consistently throughout this podcast for a very big reason, because not only is consistency key to making changes, you have to show up consistently in all of who you are to really embody the authenticity, the authentic self, and build that self-confidence and tap into that. So again, take note of what you identified in the first step, and expanding your awareness and taking the inventory of what does make you feel authentic or make you feel inauthentic, right? And those things that make you feel authentic, or would make you feel more authentic? Maybe it's things you're not even doing yet. What are some of the things you could do more of? What are some small activities that can tap you into that embodiment, of the authentic self? So for instance, if you feel, out of alignment with your job or something right now, maybe it's just taking a few minutes each day to look at other careers, to look at other jobs you want to have, right? To look at pursuing your passions. Whatever it is for you, building it into each day, even if it's just a little bit of time, consistency is the key. And when you build in practices each day for authenticity and you pair it with this expanded awareness and you start being more present throughout your day, and you've got your support system around you and you're working on building your support system and you're speaking your truth, right? Every day as you work on it consistently, right? You're doing this consistently, you are going to embody your authentic self and again, grow your self-confidence. So, of course, with these 5 steps, right, when you're working through them and you're practicing them and you're building it in daily, you discover how to embody your authentic self. And another little reminder, which I say in a lot of my podcasts, it isn't a once and done process. All right. So consistency is key. But once you discover how to be your authentic self, there are so many benefits that come with it. Yes, we talked about self-confidence, and that is kind of the theme of this podcast, but you're also going to start to live in the flow of your life. Creativity and abundance is going to come to you effortlessly, and consistently living up to your core values, right? That alone builds self-confidence, as you are tapped more and more into your core values and in embodying this authentic self, you're going to be more self-confident and you're going to trust yourself. And that trust leads to full belief in yourself. And you will know that you can overcome obstacles when you are pursuing your goals and your dreams. And another great benefit is when you learn how to be real, you're going to cultivate and create genuine relationships in your life. Real, true relationships with vulnerability and intimacy with your tribe. If you can express yourself honestly, right, you are going to attract like-minded people to you who are doing the same, and those are going to be the folks who support you, and who love you fully and unconditionally for all of who you really are. So, if you want to be more self-confident, you've just got to get into alignment, okay, with that authentic self. And use these steps that I shared today to start working on and practicing embodying your authentic self. As you build momentum, right, and become consistent with these, you're going to start fully accepting, knowing, and believing in yourself, which will fuel your self-confidence. As you show up truthfully and authentically to the world, your self-confidence is naturally going to skyrocket because of this alignment. And of course, as always, if you want support in working through the process, I'm here for you. I love supporting clients in all things body, mind, and soul medicine. And ultimately, again, to cultivate self-love, right? Embodying your authentic self. Yes, it builds self-confidence, but it is also a very big key part to your healing, your transformation, and ascension. So if you do want support, you can sign up for a free clarity call. There's a link below in the description. I'd be happy to discuss with you how I can support you in the process. But as always, ultimately, tribe, it's all about the mission. of making our world a more beautiful place for us all. And that begins with better loving ourselves and learning how to love ourselves better each and every day. So, embodying your authentic self and being more self-confident will fuel your self-love. And because it does fuel self-love, you are going to be able to better love others in this world. And that is how we can make this a more beautiful world for us all. Okay, that is all for today, tribe. Until next time, mwah, much love to you all. Hey, tribe, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this podcast, make sure to like the video below and then click subscribe so you never miss an episode. And remember, I've got lots of free resources available to you to support your healing, transformation, and ascension so you can help in making this a more beautiful world for us all. Make sure you check them out in the description below. Thanks again for tuning in, tribe. And until next time, much love to you all.